Good afternoon, folks. This is Lincoln Kenobi, and today we have another topic here. It is from yesterday. It is to today. The so-called Tolkien professor Corey Olsen makes absurd claim that there's no such thing really as canon in Tolkien, in an attempt to defend the Rings of Power. Now, let me say this, bro. This Rings of Power show, The Lord of the Rings, I mean, they have awkwardly changed the story. They have changed a lot of the history of what was going on with Lord of the Rings. Now, there are people that have watched it that I know and they say they like it and everything, but they don't know the lore of it. Now, me, I'm going to say, be honest, I don't know the lore, but when I see something that seems to be boring and all, like I did in season one's 4 episodes, I wasn't hyped for it. I just didn't feel it. And the way that I've been reading it, and I talked to somebody that I met in the Friday Night Tights event when I went on April, and I met Gary, aka Neurotic. He told me everything what I needed to know about Galadriel and Elrond. So all I could say is, this guy may be a phony, bro. So let's read what this guy's got to say about it. So here we go. Corey Olsen, who was dubbed himself the Tolkien Professor, recently made the absurd claim that there's no such thing really as canon, Tolkien while defending the Rings of Power. In a clip uploaded to the Lord of the Rings on Prime's official account on X, Olsen states the first thing to specifically is that there's no such thing really as canon in Tolkien. Tolkien's ideas were ever evolving. Ironically, he then cites the text of the Lord of the Rings. In the text, the Lord of the Rings, we are told that Gandalf, with the other wizards, arrived at around year 1000 of the Third Age, and in his later years he was playing with maybe Gandalf coming sooner, maybe some of the wizards coming in the Second Age and taking part in the wars of the Rings of Power. He comes to spend hope to Middle-earth. The Tolkien professor and Vera King dive deep into Tolkien's lore on Gandalf. Let's take a look real quick at this video.
First thing to specify is that there's no such thing really as canon in Tolkien. Tolkien's ideas were ever evolving.
Thank you kindly, Grandelf.
In the text of the Lord of the Rings, we are told that Gandalf, with the other wizards, arrived at around year 1000 of the Third Age. And in his later years, he was playing with the idea of maybe Gandalf coming sooner, maybe some of the wizards coming in the Second Age and taking part in the wars of the Rings of Power.
When it comes to Gandalf, that's the most common name that people know him by, but what are some of the other names? Like a personal favorite of mine is Olorn.
He's known as Mithrandir among the elves and in Gondor. He's known as Gandalf in the north. He's known as Tharkun to the dwarves.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. And he's known as Incanus in the south. When he lived in Valinor among the gods, his name was Oloran. So it suggests he's been around lots of places, has impacted many different communities and many different peoples, and they've known him under many different names. That same passage where he talks about his different names, he says, "To the east I go not." When we look at that quote in context, he's talking to a dude from Gondor, and the people of Gondor, they call Mordor the east. He meant, don't expect me to go throw down with, the Dark Lord at the gates of Barad-dûr.
So when it comes to Gandalf, what is his general purpose in Middle-earth?
Gandalf is described as coming to bring encouragement to the people of Middle-earth. He just goes around the world.
Spreading hope.
Yeah, spreading hope and helping where he can.
I don't know about that. Olsen's claim is completely absurd on its face. He makes it even more absurd by immediately citing the canon. In fact, in Tolkien's essay on fairy stories, he makes it clear that one becomes a successful sub-creator by indeed adhering to the canon of the stories. Tolkien explained, what really happened is that the story maker proves a successful sub-creator. He makes a secondary world which your mind can either inside it. What he relates is true. It occurs with the laws of the world. You therefore believe it while you are, as it were, inside. The moment disbelief arises, the spell is broken, the magic or rather art has failed. You are then out in the primary world again, looking at the tight little abortive secondary world from outside. He continued, if you are obliged by the kindness or circumstances to stay, then disbelief must be suspended or stifled. Otherwise, listening and looking at the world become intolerable. But this suspension of disbelief is a substitute for the genuine thing, a subterfuge we use when condensing to the games or make believe, or when trying, more or less willingly, to find what virtue we can in the work of art that has for us failed. Furthermore, Tolkien specifically noted that there is canon in the Lord of the Rings, in the letter sent to Forrest J. Ackerman, wherein he provided comments on the fifth treatment for the Lord of the Rings by Morton Zimmerman. In letter 210, Tolkien wrote, if and or others do so, they may be irritated by, aggrieved by the tone of many of my criticism. So if so, I am sorry, but I would ask them to make an effort of imagination sufficient to understand the irritation of an author who finds increasingly, as he provides, his work treated as it would seem carelessly in general, and placed recklessly and with no evident signs of any application of what it is all about. Next, he declared, the canons of narrative art in any medium cannot be wholly different, and the failure of poor films is often precisely in exaggeration and in the intrusion of unwarranted matter, owing to not perceiving where the core of the original lies. From there, Tolkien lampoons the script and its deviations from its canon. At one point, he even notes, why on earth should say that the hobbits were munching ridiculously long sandwiches? Ridiculously indeed. I do not see how any author could be expected to be pleased by such silly alterations. One hobbit was sleeping and the other smoking. He even criticized how the Tower of Orthanc was depicted. The spiral staircase weaving round the tower comes from Zimmerman's fancy, not my tale. I prefer the latter. The tower was 500 feet high. There was a flight of 27 steps leading to the great door above, which was a window and a balcony. Clearly there is canon in Tolkien. He explained in an essay why staying true to the canon is important, and mediocrity rebooked and treatment for a film adaptation to The Lord of the Rings for not staying true to his canon. You know, it's like this, man. It's like they said. I've never gone deep to the Lord of the Rings, the Middle-earth lore and everything. But everything that has been happening right now, there is canon, man. Because, of course, Amazon changed the story of Lord of the Rings. Amazon changed it all. Because the showrunners, what they did was they got certain stories and they combined it together. Because they want excitement. They want to try to bring excitement and they want to try to bring, identity politics in, and then they put identity politics in there, bro, and it's just not working, bro. It's just not working. So, I mean, like I said, dude, I mean, this guy's full of it. And I don't believe it. And like I said, once you see this, and like I said, as long as I see, and I will show you this right now, and I'm going to put this up here. Where is it? No, that's not it. as long as I see this, as long as I see that right there, I wouldn't believe that it's gonna make an effort, because the Rings of Power lost a lot of viewers, bro. The season 2 lost a lot of viewers because of what they did to the franchise. They made Galadriel thinking that she's a badass, bro, instead of what she's truly supposed to be. They made Elrond into nothing but a freaking, I don't know. I'm not even caught up with it, but I don't even know what he's become, because, and I saw the first 4 episodes of Rings of Power, bro. I did not like what they did with Elrond. So, I mean, it's like I said, as long as I see that, I know it's not a good show. But people that I know, they watched it, they enjoy it. It's good for them, but I'm not interested. So, that is my belief, that is my opinion of it. So, if that's on them. But it's up to you guys. What do you guys think of this article? So, that's going to be it for the video. So, if you like the video, hit the like button, share this video, post a comment below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button for me. Alright, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye for now.